Nobody talks about this part. You left the job or you never took it. You built a setup. You learned the craft. You're doing what you said you'd do. And somehow, in the middle of that, there's this hollow feeling that just never leaves. Not burnout, not self doubt, but something lonelier. Today, we're talking about the loneliness of freelance music producers. Why it happens, why it's worse than most people admit it to be, and what actually helps. Now, here's the thing about choosing this path. Most of the people in your group will never really know what it is to be a freelance music producer or a musician for that matter. Because most of the people will be following their day jobs or businesses which they speak about pretty freely, which most people can relate with. When you're sitting in a group where none of the others are musicians or for that matter freelancers, they'll be speaking about their problems, which are bad bosses, long work hours, EMIs that they're paying, whereas you are in your head thinking about the problem of making some money this month. We've all been in this place where there's an off season and we start thinking, is work ever gonna come my way again? And if it does not, what am I really gonna do? And it's such a difficult talk to have with anyone else in your circle if they have never felt something like this, because no one else will feel that weight of a slow month that we do. So slowly, without meaning for it to happen, we start having less and less of these conversations with others. We start keeping more of it just inside, and that's where the hollowness begins. Now here's the part that's actually harder to admit. After a while of nobody actually getting what we're saying, we start to weave a story in our heads. I just operate differently. My vision is too big for anyone to understand. I'm playing a longer game, so I just have to keep silent until I reach that big level where I can get back to everyone and tell them how successful I am. And look, there might be some truth in there. You might really be operating differently and have a completely different headspace as compared to anyone. And the path you've chosen does require a kind of thinking that isn't the same as most people. But there's a very fine line between having a strength and it becoming the wall. Because when we fully convince ourselves that there is no one that can really understand us, we stop looking. We stop showing up to the places where people could actually understand us. And we mistake isolation for individuality. And that's dangerous, because it doesn't cut you off from creativity, but it does cut you out from listening to feedbacks, listening to criticism, or even understanding if there is something wrong with your play. It cuts off the genuine human connection that makes this whole work sustainable long term. And I've been there. That visionary feeling, a lot of it was just loneliness with a better story on top of it. You're in a room, probably alone, for hours, working on something that may not be heard by any people for weeks or months. And the work itself is very internal. It requires you to be tuned out from the world for extended periods of time. That's the craft. And that's also the trap. Because your brain needs both. It needs the solitude to bring out your creativity and needs the connection to keep you grounded. And if that connection is only coming from social media, where everyone's profiles, bios, and stories are actually well curated, then you get a false sense of the real world. And you end up feeling more isolated, not less. You're watching other producers post their wins. You're not seeing their slow months. You're not seeing their 2 a.m. doubts. You're just seeing their highlighted reel and comparing it to your full unedited version. That's a recipe for the exact kind of hollowness we are talking about. Now, I want to be straight with you here. There's no single fix that actually works, and sometimes this whole mindset is needed to bring out some amazing things in your writing or musicality. But there are things which you can do to help your mental state and help you think more clearly. First, go find your people physically. There are open mics, producer meetups, local music jams, a lot of things where you can just head out and find people like you. So whatever version of it exists in your city, go for it. Not to network, not to hand out your business cards, and not to find clients. Just to be in a room where everyone else feels this thing just as you do, with all the positives and the negatives. There's something that happens when you're sitting across someone who has the same problems as you do, the same weird lifestyle, and the same creative obsession. And you realize you're not the only one living like this. It doesn't solve your problems, but it breaks the isolation. And that matters more than people realize. Second, go on online communities, but intentionally. There are producer forums, Discord servers specifically for musicians and freelance musicians to interact, which are genuinely good. The key is intentional participation, not just lurking. Because lurking makes you a spectator, in that you're just another social media watcher instead of someone who's actually engaging and understanding the community. Participating makes you a part of something. And third, be honest about the hard parts, at least somewhere. This one's the most important according to me. Find a person, a friend, a producer, a partner, someone who you can speak out your heart to. Speak out about all of your uncertainties, insecurities about the thing that you're doing. Because if you don't face those emotions, you'll never be knowing what's actually going wrong in your life. So speak out about the goods and the bads. Not to vent endlessly, but to break the habit of only showing your polished version to the world. And if you're with the right person who might just have the same problems and says, I feel that too, something shifts. And here's what I want to leave you with. The loneliness of this path is real. It's not weakness. It's not something that you've chosen wrong. It's just what happens when you fully commit to something what most people around you wouldn't even understand. But the answer isn't to lean harder into it and call it an isolation or having a bigger vision. The answer is to go find people who are doing something similar and let them in. Let them see the full picture. Let yourself see theirs. Community doesn't make you any less of an individual. If anything, it actually makes your individual voice even stronger, because now it's been stress tested and you've actually spoken out your voice, which makes you more comfortable to speak it out through your language of music as well. You don't need everyone to understand what you're building, you just need a few. And if you felt any of the words also related with you, please write me in the comments. I'd love to hear from you and hear what you have to say about this topic, because there might be other spectators who also want to be participating and are looking for people out there like them. And if you're new here, this channel is for music producers and musicians who are trying to figure out the craft and a career at the same time. Subscribe if that's you. See you in the next one.